And we're live. We are live off the back fence with Donnie.
How you going, my man?
Very good. Now I'm just going to hold off for like the first 20 seconds just to make sure there's
Yeah.
no playback issues. There's no. I think we should be fine. I'm hearing it now. I'm seeing it on the screen. I think we're good.
Well, we
go.
took a full week off just working on back end gear.
We did, yeah. It was rigorous nights up until
Getting in the server room, cutting red and blue wires, holding diagrams up.
Mate, everyone has a shaky debut, and that was ours. But we're back. We're back this week, ready to go. Mate, how are you? You're up in Brizzy. Tell the people how you're doing up there. How's everyone going?
Yeah, like Brizzy is struggling, but it's like I've had it's just diverted around me. I've just been like a beacon, and the floods have just gone. Nah, not messing with him. He's got too much shit to do. So no way is he getting a couple of days off work. That'd be ridiculous. But no, it's been hard for a lot of people up here. But I don't know. We always bounce back. It happened in 2011. We came back. It's been struggling. The lots of footy clubs got hit because all their fields are getting ready for prep this season. And I know a lot of guys got a bit screwed over there, but yeah, it's been a bit gnarly. I've never seen weather like that yesterday. Eh? Every time you thought it was about to slow down, It got harder. Like and what was strange about it was there was no lightning and no thunder. It was just rain. Just rain and wind and rain. And I think it rained from Tuesday until Sunday night at about 3 a.m. It was just relentless. So, but yeah, thoughts and praise to everyone that was copping that. But every time you thought it was slowing down, it just sped up. It was insane. When you didn't think there was another place for it to go, it just hit another notch. You're like, it was craziness.
Nah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, thoughts go out to everyone up there. We know there's so many people doing it tough, and hopefully we can all get through this and get the help that everyone needs up there, and get back up and running. But yeah, mate, off the back fence. We're back for week 2, ready to...
it's the calm before the storm, ironically, isn't it?
Well, yeah. It's big week of footy coming up.
I'm very excited.
Massive. Yeah.
Like, it feels like... you feel like you've held your breath since about October last year?
Yep.
And now you can finally be like, and we're back now. All right. There's no... Predictions are about to finish. Guessing's about to finish. Tuesday, we're about to find out what people's ideas are, what's going to actually happen, and we get to run with it. It's so close. I'm so excited.
I was, I think one of the reasons it seems to have taken so long is that it was lack of any off-field incidences. There wasn't
ridiculous how well behaved the boys have been.
I know, good on them.
Insanity.
Clap for the boys for you sort of let us down a little bit.
I was hanging on for something.
But no, good to see you behaving. But I think the media sort of pulled on a few things that
had to rewrite suspension rules. I mean, that was a nice hot topic to get into. That was good. Yep. We really drew that long too. We got a lot out of that one. That was good.
And they've picked up a couple of things and just seemed to drag it out, which I think has dragged it out for us, which has made it tough. But mate, we are Sunday 4 sleeps away until the big one, the big game.
Hi, Brian. Warrington's winning.
Start off too. I in my head, because I bought tickets for South Bronx like ages ago.
Yep.
And I knew I was going anyway. So that in my mind, that was the first game of footy because that was going to be the first game I was going to. And it wasn't until the last couple of weeks I went, hold on, Thursday night is Manly Penrith. Holy shit. Yeah. That's not a bad one to start with, is it?
It is a blockbuster to start with. There are some great talking points from the first one. And we're going to get to that. But first, I just want to kick off the back fence with, I saw in the Super League, someone sent me this, and it was between the Catalan Dragons and Warrington Wolves, and it was a pre-match game. I think they were bringing the balls out, and it was a dragon and a wolf. And I'll play the video here for everyone so they can see it.
Hi, Brian. Warrington's
turn the music down. You don't need to hear the thing, but here is the dragon. Here is the wolf. They're going head-to-head. A wizard comes in for some reason.
It looked like CGI, that dragon.
It did. That's when I first saw it. I was like, saw it first thing in the morning. I had to sort of adjust my eyes and go, what the hell is this? And but yeah, it was some guy dressed up in a dragon suit to kick it off. And I was like, that is one mean mascot. But
it's a big suit too.
Breathing smoke out of the nose and everything. And that wizard, that was one good outfit. But it made me have a look and go back and and see, our mascots. We've got some great mascots out there. They say these two seem to be going head to head. So I was like, what if we threw all of our mascots into a Royal Rumble? We've got WrestleMania coming up. We've just had Royal Rumble. I was like, if we threw them in there, the winner gets the title. Who would take it out? So I'm going to run through all of our mascots, and I apologise if I get any of these wrong. But this is the info that I've got. Now we've got the Brisbane Broncos. We've got Buck.
Are we when we're entering this? Are we entering Buck the horse or the guy in the suit that does the backflips?
No, it's the guy in the suit that does the backflips.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because he was my first one out because I didn't know how he was going to get into the ring.
So that's not Buck, is it? Buck's the actual horse.
Yeah, no. Buck's the horse and Buck's the guy in the suit too.
Both
Buck 1, Buck 2.
Buck 1, Buck 2. Do not, say that 5 times fast. You've got the Canterbury Bulldogs. You've got Brutus, and I believe there's a female version, but we're sticking with Brutus here. Canberra Raiders, we've got Victor the Viking. Cronulla Sharks, there's 2 of them, Reefy and Hammerhead. Now, whether they're a tag team, we'll throw them both in.
There's a couple tag teams in here.
There is. The Titans, we've got Blade. Igor the Eagle for Manly. We got is it Boom for Melbourne Storm?
Well, I thought it was Boom, but then there's also this guy running around calling himself Storm Man.
Storm Man, yeah.
And I'm like, we're putting Boom in, bro.
Okay,
because I don't know what this Storm Man stuff is.
Novo the Knight. Tiki from the Warriors, and we've got Bluey the Cattle Dog for the Cowboys. Sparky and Sparkles, another tag team for the Eels.
Yes.
Claws the Panther. Big Scorch for the Dragons. Rocket. Not Rocket. Reggie the Rabbit for the Rabbitohs. Rocky the Rooster for the Roosters. And we go on Timmy and Stripes or both for the West Tigers.
I reckon chuck them both in. The Tigers need all the help they can get.
Another tag team. So that is the entrance for the inaugural mascot Royal Rumble.
It's tough. It's tough because when you look at these guys, none of them look menacing. None of them look like they're ready to take someone's because they're there for the kids, right?
Yeah.
But my guy is Sparky.
Everyone wants a friendly picture with the mascot.
Sparky's got those teeth. I don't know who designed these teeth. They're terrifying. And I'm like, if he's fighting for Sparkles, if Sparkles is a manager in this thing and Sparkles is on the side of the ring, Sparky's not getting thrown over the top rope, brother. He's going all the way.
That's what we have to think about. The interference from outside influences. They're going to call
it's a bit of Macho Man and what was her name?
Miss Elizabeth.
Macho Man. Yeah, Miss Elizabeth. I'm getting those vibes from Sparkles.
Yep. Look, I think there's some great entrants here. For me, if you look at like Reggie the Rabbit and Rocky the Rooster, they're tough, but I think they've got a hatred for each other, right? South versus Roosters.
My thing is it a Kane and Undertaker hatred? How they kind of don't like each other, but they do team up sometimes? Or is it just you can't mend that friendship?
No, there's nothing there. There's no tag team.
No love lost there.
Well, yeah, plenty of love lost, but they're not teaming up. So I think that they'll get too involved with each other in a little side fight and get distracted and get thrown out early. So they're probably the first that are gone. So I'm ruling them out. For me, I love Big Scorch.
See, this is my problem, Roasty, because I knew you were going to like Scorch as a Dragons fan. And what was tough for me was Bluey's no chance as a Cows fan. As a Cows fan, I'm looking at Bluey and I'm like, we're no shot here. We're going for the all-time shortest record in the Rumble here. And I'm like, I know Rosie's going to be going to bat for Scorch, and I cannot in good faith go to bat for Bluey. I just can't do it.
This is where I'm against you. Like, Bluey, he's a cattle dog, right? He'll just fight tooth and nail. He might be the smallest in the... Well, not the smallest.
You can round him up?
I think
you can round him up.
He'll put up a fight. All right, he might win. I think he'll put up a fight though.
I think what's important is it like, are these dudes in suits or are these the characters they're playing?
The characters. It's all the characters.
Well then it's the dragon, bro. It's got to be the dragon, right?
The dragon, right? I thought Victor the Viking. He would be a very heavy favorite.
Imagine that as the final two, a Viking and a dragon.
Yep.
That's written by Vince McMahon all over.
He would froth on this. So, if you went like a final four, I would go probably Scorch, the dragon. I'd go Brutus, the bulldog. I would go.
Brutus looks like he's ready to get thrown out of the ring early too. Like he'll be in the final four, but it's like, go Brutus out of the way.
Victor the Viking, and then I've got Bluey in there. That's my final four.
Which one?
So I've got Scorch, Brutus,
Scorch,
Victor the Viking, and Bluey the Cattle Dog.
Bluey. I'm happy to
these-
sacrifice Bluey for Blade, bro.
Blade.
Blade, a literal titan, a literal titan. Surely he's got to be there at the end, right? Blade, a name like Blade over
true.
Bluey for me.
That's my final four. I think Scorch the big fella. I'm going a bit biased here. I think he's just
Yeah.
too big. He's strong. He'll probably hold the record for most eliminations in a Royal Rumble.
Not one-eyed at all. Not one-eyed at all.
Not at all. This is all, it's statistical. You look back at some of the great Royal Rumbles, who holds the most eliminations? Like Brock Lesnar, Kane, all the big fellas.
Well, Kane the Fire, it's there, right?
Yeah.
It's something. All right, we'll give it to Scorch this time.
In saying that, Kane, he holds the most eliminations, never won a Royal Rumble.
Well, you know, one guy I think you are forgetting about is Claus the Panther, because he's got these speedies he wears. He's got these speed dealers. Gives me Scotty Too Hotty vibes. Maybe he won't be in the final four, but he's definitely going to have a Royal Rumble moment. You know what I mean?
True,
with those speedies on, you'd be maybe a Kofi Kingston type stuff there. You know what I mean?
We've got Johnny in the chat. He's got Brutus and Bella the Bulldogs to win any tag team match. I would love to see a tag team match. Brutus and Bella the Bulldog versus Sparky and is it Sparkle or
Sparky and Sparkles? Yeah, I could see that.
That would be a great tag team match.
That would be a great tag team match. Also, I think that the two Tigers together, because I'm thinking of Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. You know, bouncing around, you know, like getting a bit of high flyer action, you know. I'm thinking something like that. Maybe they could be in there. Bit of Hardy Boys action on them, you know.
There is some great Reefy and Hammerhead too, the Sharkies.
Yeah, that's a big business type of pairing too. Yeah, but if they're the characters, how are they going out of water?
True, yeah, but we let's just chuck them in as the mascots as they are. I think we could almost do a full WrestleMania card just by using the mascots. It would be.
I can definitely see a Reggie and what's his name, the Roosters fella,
Rocky.
Reggie and Rocky. That's a WrestleMania moment right there. That Austin Rock.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Surely, right?
Someone get Vince McMahon on the phone. We need a chat.
We need at least an interview,
mate. Let's get on the first round.
You want to talk about footy? Oh, footy. All right.
We do talk a little bit about footy here. What's got you tully for the first round?
Oh, I got the Manly Penrith thing is easy to say.
Yep.
Reynolds racing the clock
does
interest me because I have hyped up that game a lot. You know, South's back in the last time they played was in that stadium and they lost the grand final again with the guy that they're playing against, allegedly, if he gets over this COVID stuff.
Yep.
There's a lot of interesting matchups and stuff like that to follow. But I think what I'm most excited for is every round one, somebody's fan base gets ridiculed to all hell. Last year it was Manly.
Yep.
And Manly sucked for a while. And even when they were doing good, everyone just remembered that first day against the Roosters.
Yeah.
That first impression lasts. So I'm just so excited to see who we get to beat up on for the next 4 or 5 weeks because somebody's getting flogged round one. It happens every year. There's never going to be 8 close matches. That's what I'm most excited for which fan base is going to have their hearts ripped out. And I think the Tigers fans are getting a little bit too excited about the Storm players being out.
Yep.
And I think it might be them.
What is it? It's Munster and Grant. Munster and Grant. Is that
Grant
it?
And Brandon Smith, I think is back now, isn't he?
So it's
but Cooper Johns is injured too, so they're bringing up a third. But you got Jerome Hughes, you got Ryan Pappenhausen, you got Brandon Smith, you got Xavier Coates. I mean, we know who the Storm plays. Like, I think the Tigers fans all off season have been like, "Oh, he's out."
Yeah.
We might actually be the first team to beat the Melbourne Storm streak. We're talking about streaks. Like they've got a better streak than Taker at WrestleMania.
True.
And I just don't think we're throwing Mark Henry at him there. It's not going to be the Tigers, brother. It's not going to be the Tigers.
This will be the 20th. This will be their 20th year. So if they get this, they'll be 20-0 in the first round, which is, in saying that, someone pointed out, like 2004, they had to bye the first round and they lost their second round match. So
yeah, right.
But in saying that, they've gone in the first round undefeated for the last 20 years. But it's funny you brought up Manly as being the team that everyone bagged those first few weeks because what did they lose their first 4 games? And
they lost badly.
Yeah.
Like Desi's job was on the line.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I did up a post and it came back to haunt me big time and someone sent it to heap of people sent it to me. and it was a post of a bullet, two bullets colliding, and it was just a meme. It was like this happened in Gallipoli in whatever year, and the chances of it happening are 1 in 16 billion or something like that. And it said, which is still more likely to happen than, and I put Manly to make the finals this year.
Oh,
and dead set, like, then they just went on that run, and people just send me, just refreshing your memory about this one. Remember this? And I'm like, oh, fuck. So yeah, when they finally were, locked into the finals, it just came in a mass. Everyone was sending it to me, but
yeah, that would have been really fun.
I love the drama that this week builds. Brings, and what they'll build with this Rabbitohs Broncos one with Reynolds. For me, it's that one.
He's got to be there, right? They're saying he's racing the clock.
Yeah, that's what it'll all be talk. It'll all be if he's allowed to play. They know now if he's allowed to play, right? And there'll be people saying, "Oh, he can come back," and blah. Whether he's fit, there'll be people leaking stuff to the media here, left, right, and centre. We just love it. This is what rugby league is. This is drama. So I don't care if his name's read out or it's not read out and then he comes in late. I love all that drama. So. For me, that's probably the biggest one. But, a couple of things. You got Kalen Ponga versus his old friend Connor Watson on Saturday.
I like that.
Yeah, the new look Bulldog squad, all the new players in all the different clubs. You've got Nico Hines, Dale Finucane at the Sharks. They were put in their trial. So it's just that drama. And people sort of made comment about everyone blowing up about the NRL ad. And they're going, it's not that exciting. I agree. It's not that exciting to me to build it up. But I'm like, if you need that to get pumped for the NRL season, then you're not a fan. You should be just pumped up anyway. That's
how many blokes have moved clubs?
Yeah, there's so many storylines. So, mate, there's something got me toey every single day of this first round, and I cannot wait until Thursday. So,
and like we say, as soon as these players that have moved clubs, if Nico doesn't win this first game, he is a fraud. He's nothing. It's absolutely chaos every single first game. Yeah. I remember the Titans lost their first game last year, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is what you've been hyping up all off season." It's just chaos. It's just chaos every year.
If Manly beat Panthers, they're suffering a grand final headache and stories. But for some reason, you just fall into it and do it all again. Mate, you got a little thing running at the moment, Captain.
Oh yeah.
Headgear Society.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest and truest traditions in rugby league. One of the oldest and truest traditions in rugby league. Not everyone has the guts to wear the headgear. You get picked on. It's clear, but sometimes your mum chucks you in one because she cares about you and how your face looks, right? So the old saying is, safe heads, clear minds. All right. So the Headgear Society has been going on for decades, eons. Since 1908, they've been strapping their head with something. And this new era, this resurgence of the headgear, there's been cool haircuts in this league for too long. And the resurgence of Matt Burton in the old school Canterbury, mind you. Reed Marnie in a white piece of gear. Kalen Ponga in his Knights one. Josh Curran in the Indigenous. We're getting a bit flary with it. These guys are bringing... Jerome Hughes, obviously, with his purple piece of magic. And there is obviously one big stick in the mud. It's Reece Walsh did take his headgear off last year at Magic Round. It is a bit of a sore point for people that do follow the society and part of the society. I was actually there at that game. My heart did break into a million pieces. So yeah, Reece is a bit of a contention. We would welcome him back into the society. Should he, it is a pretty face he's got. I give him that. But if KP is willing to stay true to his oath, I don't see why Reece can't get back involved. Yeah. And on that note also, Matt Burton, who I'm putting forth as a potential captain for this new society, this old society, but a new captain for the current players, has just recently dyed his hair blonde coming into this season, which has just kind of thrown me for a loop because it's going to be covered. So it's got me a bit nervous that someone that I thought was a presidential favorite for this whole society might be going in a different direction, a la Reece Walsh, like we saw last year. It's got me a bit nervous. I don't know what to say about it, honestly.
Tell me, for the current crop of young fellas coming through with headgear, is there a minimum you have to wear? Minimum games you have to wear it to be included, or is it you just wear it once, you're in?
When it's on, you're in.
Yeah.
Once you take it off, you're out forever. Don't put it back on. Don't put it back on. We know who you are. if you put it back on, I think there's going to be a vote this year. If you put it back on, you got to wear it for a season.
Yep.
You can't come on for a couple games if you're a bit nervous about HIAs or whatever. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But if you ever take it off your head, if you run out of the sheds without it on, it's a bit of a point of contention for the boys. But if you take it off, you got to give us a full 12 months before we welcome you back into the guild. And people are saying, who am I? Who am I to be saying these things? Well, I won an under-13s Div 3 premiership wearing a Jonathan Thurston's replica headgear. I don't think you guys really understand my pedigree in this society. Me and Steve Menzies brought back the resurgence of this whole society. So that's who I am in this whole thing. But Reece Walsh has got a lot to speak for. And what's funny is been a bit quiet. We have sent messages, we have sent letters, and I haven't heard a thing back. So I don't really understand what's happening there.
I'm actually totally against headgear. I never wore it growing up, so I'm against you here. But I never wore it growing up. Had a head knock, and my mum forced me to wear it, and it was the worst game of my life, I reckon. And I blamed the headgear, so I never wore it again.
It's kind of one of those things. You got to believe in the magic to get everything out of the headgear that it gives you. So you're probably a non-believer. That's okay. like if you're a non-believer, you're a non-believer. But just ask Callum Ponga how it goes for him.
I'll say some of the greats of headgear. Some of my favourites: Steve Menzies, Old Beaver, and Presto, the Magic Man Campbell. So there have been some greats that wore headgear, but
JT carried the bridge. There was a long time when not Jamie Soward was also he helping him out there, but JT really, and he was giving them out. He was inducting new members every weekend. Like he's going out there, he's a foot soldier for the society.
Yeah,
and that's why he's probably the best president we've ever had, honestly.
In every city that is an NRL game, there's some kid that is now, growing up going, I'm going to push this headgear society. I'm going to be
and they're welcomed. They're welcomed. Everyone but Reece Walsh is welcomed into this guild.
Mate, moving on. Let's get on to the heartbreaker. I love this from you. You brought this up. A team that's going to come close. A prediction. A team that's going to come close to the finals, but not quite get there. Now, we know 9th spot's probably going to be locked up by the Tigers.
So, So this is a competition for 10th.
10th down. But, no, mate, let us know. Who's your team for the heartbreaking team of 2022?
I think there's a lot of hype for the Broncos right now. A lot of it got dashed by one of the best teams in the competition last weekend at a trial, the Cowboys. Dashed their hopes and dreams as they realised that, the Cowboys are meant to be coming last this year and they've just beaten us by 20. So that doesn't really add up. But I think there's a lot of hype coming with the Bronx. They got Tony back. They got this young kid, Selwyn Cobbo. They got Adam Reynolds obviously coming in. But I just think that they're gonna be close, but there's no cigar there, I don't think. So 10th place for them after the Tigers, I think.
Yeah, I got the Bulldogs. I think their squad. I think they're going to improve, and I think they're going to probably take a little bit to click, get going. But once they get those pieces, once they get going, I think they're going to string a few games together. And
it's the hope that kills them, right?
Yeah, people are going to start to believe. Then they're going to drop a game. Then they're going to get going again, and then they're going to drop another game. And I just think they're going to be that close. But the squad that they've got, they're going to be in the finals in the next few years.
Yep.
It's next year, but I think for them, it's just they're going to finish just below the Tigers. They're in 10th.
Definitely.
Look, I agree. Like, I posted up saying my pick for the wooden spoon was the Cowboys, and sorry to throw that, but
no. My pick's the Dragons.
It was the punters pick as well. So, and someone came at me and said, "Why are you saying this? Are you just saying it because all the experts are saying it?" I'm like, no, I just don't think their squad's improved as much as everyone else, blah, blah, blah. But I looked at everyone else, and I thought everyone else is probably going to improve and, bear content. It's probably one of the most hardest teams to pick down the bottom, I think. And I'm not saying the Cowboys just because I think they're going to, shit it in. I just think it's going to be so tight between the bottom four sides.
I reckon it'll be point difference for the last three blokes.
So I think we're in for a really good year of like one of the most competitive years with all these players moving, and things going on. So I think we're in
that
for a good
10th
one.
that 10th spot and that 8th spot. There's not going to be much between it.
No, mate. Punters Paradise. The team with the most try scorers. So just explain this one. Is it team that's going to have the like in one game that's going to have the most players score a try, or is it over the whole season?
Well, it's like when you're putting a punt on, right? if some blokes go the same game multi, some blokes do the all day multi. If they really hate themselves, if they really want to get their hopes up, they do the all day multi. But if you're doing the same game multi, how many blokes in a team can you put confidence will probably go over the line? When I look at South Sydney, I go, AJ's probably the only guy that I'm like, yeah, I'll back him into my same game. You look at Manly, though, and I think you can go pretty confidently, depending on the matchup. Ruben Garrick, Turbo, and Saab with a bit of confidence.
Yep.
Whereas everyone else, if you go Melbourne, you might chuck Coates in, but then who else do you put in there? Maybe Hughes, maybe Pappy, but it doesn't but I think Manly are the punter's paradise this year for the same game multi.
I know there was a lot of when Manly won and they won big, there was normally Turbo and Saab every single one. You throw in Garrick every now and then, and then said Parker, and their back line just looks like almost any of them can score.
Yeah,
I went with Melbourne. My pick was Melbourne. I like Manly, but I like Melbourne for the fact that you've got Hughes, you've got Munster. They can score tries. You even look at some of the forward pack, and we'll probably get on. We'll have to go back and we'll talk about Brendan Smith in the front row.
Your wheelhouse.
And you look at the forwards, and I think almost any of them can score as well. Harry Grant, dummy half. Brendan Smith at the 13. You've got Xavier Coates is going to score a monster amount of tries. You've got Justin Olam, Pappenhausen. For me, it's them. I think I checked, and out of the top 50 try scorers last year, they had 7 players in. They were the most for any side. But that should, so that they can score a lot of tries. Whether they do it all on the same day, different story. But one to keep an eye on.
You go.
Yeah, no, just one to keep an eye on. I think throughout the season, go, after round one, which after probably sort of 5 rounds or something, go which team seems to look to spread the tries around. And keep an eye on it for that middle part of the season where hopefully we can make a little bit of money.
What do you think about how many blokes are going to lose money putting same game multis on Foxy and Burton this year? Because Burton doesn't mind a try, and Foxy definitely doesn't mind one.
Yep.
But they're wearing different jerseys this year. So I think if we're picking Punter's Paradise, I think they might be the 2 biggest traps in the same game multi all year.
Oh, absolutely. Ones to avoid, until you see them play, they're not going to be rounds 1 to 5, rounds 1 to 6 sort of thing that you're looking at every week. You want to find out. I think they'll grind out wins. They're not going to a team that's going to put 30 or 40 like the teams they were playing for last year. So but if they do score tries, it's probably going to come through them. So
and just thinking out loud, they wouldn't be bad odds.
You'd have to think so. We'll find out on Tuesday after the teams are named, but it'd be a good one to go and check and actually go back and compare what they were last year to what they are this year. Because I guarantee you, Fox would be like $1.70, $1.80 last year.
Maybe you'd be lucky to get that.
$3. But, because who they got first up against the Cowboys might be a bit shorter. But when they come up against the big side, he could be $2.50, $3. And people will be looking at it going, I'm getting on that. I'm with it.
I don't actually. Yeah, maybe not a trap all the time.
So, but we spoke about it before actually. Brendan Smith scored. I don't know. I think 11 or 13 tries last year. Brycey Gibbs, one of the presidents of the Front Rowers Union, came out, wrote him a letter. This is how bad it was. He wrote him a letter saying, if he scores any more tries, he's probably going to be kicked out of the Front Rowers Union. Crazy to think that, but he was just scoring them at will. And, for a guy like, you look at Bryce Gibbs, I don't think he scored that many tries. You probably count on one hand how many tries he scored in his career. And you look at the president of the current players, Alex Twal, has not scored a try. He's leading the charge with it. But
yes.
How many tries would he be allowed over the course of the year, do you think, to be included in that Front Rowers Union? Or what's the over-under for him until he gets kicked out?
Surely if he scores 5 tries this year, it's curtains, right?
I would have to think so. I think he doesn't score as many as he did last year due to, probably a bit of a role change than what he was doing last year.
Or also pressure from the club.
Pressure from the higher-ups, yep. I like that. 5. I'm going to go, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go over 5, and he's going to get kicked out. There's going to be a letter.
Oh,
There's going to be a formal written warning.
a written warning at 4 to let him know.
Sorry, since there's already been a written warning, it'll be
True.
lights out.
Him and Reece might start their own club.
Be interesting to see. Mate, we're gonna finish off with we're not gonna finish off. We've got one more thing, a little bit of a hypothetical. Ricky Stewart blow-ups. We're talking about over-unders.
Yeah.
Loves a good blow-up. Came out during the week. Doesn't love now taking up the arse.
No, very anti taking it up the arse, actually. Took a very anti copping it up the arse stance this week.
And we all know he loves a good blow-up. During the year, he'll just come out, take the pressure off his team, whatever it is, he'll just come out and have a good blow-up in the media. So I'm throwing it out there, 7.5 blow-ups for the year, overs or unders?
My heart says overs. But I think he's got to come to it. The finances will start to impact him at 6, right? At 6, it's got to start to hurt the pocket.
So I'm talking not just fines. This is just blow-ups.
Yeah.
Are you going each blow-up is a fine?
Isn't it a fine for saying anything these days?
Yeah, only if he's critical of the refs, right?
Okay.
He might come out
Okay.
and blow up and just go off about his own team. He might just blow up about the crowd. Someone said something in the media, whatever it is.
Oh, I'm going overs then. Yeah, definitely overs. If it's not a fine, if we're talking fines, I go unders. But if it's just Ricky being Ricky, just him getting sticky icky with it, yeah, overs for sure, bro. Overs for sure.
Over 7.5. I'm thinking overs as well. I initially had the line at 5.5, and I went, that's way too short. So I busted it up to 7.5, but I still think that is way overs. So,
do you think that it might go down all-time missed opportunities, the lack of a blow-up after the grand final against the Roosters? I remember sitting by my phone waiting eagerly to hear what he had to say.
There's nothing really to gain from it. If you blow up, you just look like Ricky comes off as in the media, and when he does have a blow up, it's sort of portrayed as a bit of a sook, and that's what commentary is.
I would have put my house on F's and C's getting dropped in that press conference.
No, there's nothing to gain from it. What's he going to?
Well, this is why you're an adult, Roasty. You're a grown ass man. I would have been in there.
You can't influence the refs the week after the grand final, so
that's fair. That's fair.
A blow up is useless. Yeah, so I think over 7.5 is pretty reasonable. I think he'll get there pretty early too. Now, off the back fence, this is what the show is called. We're going to get your prediction for who's going to be the forward of the year. Who's coming off the bench, off the back fence then, for the year. Who's going to be the biggest name up in lights at the end of the year? A forward.
They're going to spit. If you're drinking something, swallow it. But I'm saying Andrew Fafita.
You think he's on the comeback? He's having a big year.
How good did he look in the All-Stars game?
He did.
He looked so up for
considering,
it.
Considering, his injury that he had with his throat.
I thought when people were sending me Supercoach teams with him in it, and I said, isn't he medically retired?
Yep.
I thought he was done. And then everyone's like, no, I'm pretty sure he's playing. And then I see him in the All-Star games, and I'm like, what'd they put in you when they did that recovery? Because you look like a new lease on life, brother. Like, he looks so ready to go. And you know what else? He looks so happy. It's been a while since I've seen like a big smile on Andrew Fafita. He looks just like he's in a good place, ready to go. If he's coming off the bench, I like it. I mean, we know who he is, right? He's played for bloody Australia, hasn't he? So
yep.
I like it a lot. And I think the Sharkies have one of the easiest runs all year. If he's coming in off the bench to give those guys a break, well, we know what he can do. If he can stay fit, he's coming off the back fence and he's running home with it, I think.
Nice pick. I do like that. I am going to be biased again. I'm going to go my Dragons. Love Georgie Burgess. I think he's, what do you call him? Mr. Robot.
Robo hip.
But he's looking fit. He's looking ready to go. I think he's just ready to prove, like there's been plenty of people that have come out and said that he shouldn't be playing or anything. So I think he's out to prove something and also push some of these young forwards at the Dragons. So I think he's in for a big year. I think we'll be talking a bit more about him during the year. He might even get to a starting spot. I don't know, but I think he's probably going to spend more time on the bench And sorry, when I say more time off the bench, it's not a negative thing. Like he's going to be benched a lot, but he's going to be starting off the bench and coming on, making a real impact. I think at the end of the year, we're going to be talking about him in a really good way. So hopefully, which, if it happens, that means my Dragons have done good, eh?
I'm surprised you didn't go with the cinder block.
Who's that?
Blake Lowry.
Oh, yeah. I think he'll start. I think he'll be the starter.
That's what was so tough. Finding that fine line between getting a starting spot and being a big boy off the bench. But that's who we want. Yeah. The big boy off the bench.
Making the impact player.
Yes.
And I think next week we'll have a chat about some of the utilities. We'll have an advantage of seeing that round one and seeing some of the utilities, but I think it'll be good to have a chat and talk about which utility we think will be.
That's the new train in the house down, isn't it? He's a great 14.
Yes, it is. It's almost like integral. Like it's almost like you got your starting spot, but that 14 is just as important as any spot in the starting squad. So, mate, I can't wait. 4 sleeps and we're back.
Yes, sir.
Next week we're back. It'll be around the same time, or maybe around half time of that last game on the Sunday night. We'll work it out between Donnie and myself and work out which time suits us. Probably don't want to be doing too late. People want to relax and
do the Sunday roast.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we probably should have called this Sunday roast, but I didn't want to steal the Channel 9 hate me as much as it is at the moment, so I don't want to steal too much of their shit. Mate, thanks Donnie for jumping on, mate. Where can everyone find you? Give yourself a shout out here.
NRL_Don on Instagram is where I'm doing pretty much all my work these days. Actually, TikTok is popping off thanks to Uncle Roasty and his mustache theory. Popped off deluxe over the last couple of weeks on TikTok. So find me there as well.
Is my annoying voice one of your most popular videos?
The most popular video. I actually had a good one. I posted it because obviously it came on the potty and I cut it all up. And the top comment on that video is, did you steal this from Roast or are you Roast? Like it's somewhere in between, brother.
I should have jumped in. I might actually go back and jump in the comments. Probably a bit late now, but mate, you stole this off me. What are you doing? Go off in the comments. But mate, thanks so much for your time. Again, much appreciated. It's a good little relax on a Sunday arvo.
Definitely.
A couple of beers and enjoying footy that's going to be back in.
Yes.
4 sleeps. I cannot wait. And at least this time next week, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. This one was a little bit silly with some of the stuff, but enjoyable for me.
Next week there'll be deep analytics and
No, that's the thing. So if anyone listening this long too, we're not going to be an analytics show. There's other platforms that are way bigger and better at doing that than us. We're just here to have a lighthearted chat about the footy in our own unique way. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and if so, come back next week. Catch me and Donnie doing this again, having a beer and enjoying footy chat. So thanks again, Donnie.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'll be talking to you probably as soon as we jump off this, but can't wait next week. Footy is